Welcome back, folks, to Let's Replay Action 52, and when last we left off, the end is finally in sight, for if we try to scroll to the right, nothing happens. We need only get through these games here to have completed all 52 games, but 52 is still a distance away. We have to play 46 first, Sky Avenger, a game where we may or may not be avenging the sky. Personally, I think it's going to be another shooter, but is it going to be a horizontal or a vertical one?
Level 1.
The answer is that it's a horizontal shooter, where we're once again taking control of Daphne Jr. as she does battle against the generic army, and their planes, and their blimps. Personally, I wouldn't have selected blimps as something to use against Daphne Jr. They're not known for being agile. They are capable of firing missiles, however. We're also capable of firing missiles, and the generic army also have helicopters that are painted a different colour, which supports the theory that Daphne Jr. goes into battle with tons of cans of paint and just steals one of the enemy craft and repaints it. I've also noticed that this game reuses all of the backgrounds from Bombs Away, and that was a really weird sound at the end of a level. But we're now on level 2. Enemies come from the left and right, some of them fire, some of them don't, and I imagine they're going to get faster as we get to the later levels. Let's see if we can do battle with the generic army and be victorious. We're not doing very well at being victorious against the generic army. Take care of you. The buildings do block our view of the generic army's crafts, which isn't very good, because you'd think that they wouldn't be flying behind them, and instead would be flying far above them. But never mind, it provides that extra layer of challenge. We'll try our best to make sure we're in the middle of the screen so that we don't get immediately defeated by enemies that appear on the edges of the screen. At least the hitboxes for the missiles are quite generous. I'm going to presume that contact with any of the missiles will cost us a life, and contact with any of the planes, helicopters and blimps will also cost us a life, and that we only need to defeat so many of our opponents to get to the next level. Either that, or we just have to last for so long. I think it's based on how many we defeat, for we've completed level 2. What's the difference between 2 and 3? Nothing so far. I can only presume that they will start getting faster. That blimp there is definitely moving a little bit quicker, not too much though. We should be able to get to the next level quite easily, especially if only a few foes are on the screen at any one time. We do need to be careful about all of the things that come from behind us though. We can't shoot behind us after all. Then again, neither can they, which at least is nice. They don't need to though, because they can come from behind us. We can come from behind them, but only when they've already appeared on the screen. We can definitely shoot them when they're far away though, and that's good. It's a shame that these missiles don't... Oh, and we've lost our first life. Taken off guard by a blimp of all things. If it was going to be anybody that was going to take us out, it was going to be one of the blimps, wasn't it? After I said that the blimps weren't very suitable, the blimps were like, "We'll show you!" And then the blimps tried extra hard to take care of Daphne Jr. And one of them managed to get an accurate shot. You need to be very careful. You fired 2 missiles there, and much like in all the other games, the various aircraft and flying machines can fire when they're not on screen. Just for that added layer of challenge, and we've lost our second life. We still have 2 more, however, and I'm going to endeavour to make sure that we keep them as we move further into this game. It would be nice to complete it, but I get the feeling we're not... Oh, never mind, we're on level 4. I was about to say I get the feeling we're not going to get off that level without losing another life. But we managed it. Let's be careful, take care of you, and avoid that. You can never be sure if they're going to fire or not, because they seem to fire entirely at random. Much like many of the other things in these games, it's all random. And I'm not going to even bother trying to shoot you, but I will accidentally move down into that missile. I didn't mean to move down into that missile. Either way, we have 1 more life left. This is rather familiar for... Never mind, we have no more lives left. A blimp from off-screen managed to shoot and defeat us. So it's time to move on to the next game. The next game is Sharpshooter.
Level 1.
And now we get to see Billy Bob. Billy Bob as he does battle against all of these bunnies and flies and weird pink things with staring eyes that are trying to kill us. I do get the feeling that contact with any of these things here will defeat us. But maybe Billy Bob has figured out how to get more reloads for his bottle, and thus we can shoot however much we like. We just don't want you to get us. Hopefully you'll move up so that we can take you out without colliding with you. I do imagine collision will cost us a life. If those enemies couldn't get past the thin fence that's between us and them, this game would be impossible to lose. Unless we have only a finite amount of ammunition, which we don't know about. Also, the first level's music was exceptionally sinister. This level, quite the opposite. Though those things with the teeth are quite horrifying. It's like, okay, flies, bunny rabbits, frogs, horrible abominations from beyond the veil. Also, they're appearing really quickly. How quickly can we fire? The answer is exceptionally quickly. You know what, Billy Bob? Just keep strafing and shooting. You'll defeat all of them eventually, unless they get really quick and get to your level. We don't want that to happen. Speaking of levels, we're on level 3 now. The sinister music is back, and they are starting to move faster. But we can move quickly as well. What you need to do, Billy Bob, is dual wield. Then you'll be able to fire twice as many bullets. Or you could actually aim at your opponents instead of just firing straight forward. But this is working pretty well so far. If we'll be able to complete this game remains to be seen, though. I've seen quite a lot of the backdrop here before, in the other game, where we were also shooting things that were right in front of us. There weren't, however, those pink things with teeth, though. They're still quite horrifying. Just look at them! Just look at them. Now, I don't know how many foes we need to take care of before we get to the next level, but I'm starting to think that this isn't a game that's being played. I think Billy Bob is the only one that's standing between us and oblivion, from a portal to another dimension that's been opened. Billy Bob needs to take care of everything that comes out of that portal, especially those extremely fast. Okay, they're getting really quick now. We just need to deal with them immediately, which is going to be tricky because sometimes they move really fast. I get the feeling they're going to start costing us lives soon enough. But if we can just keep strafing and shooting, we have a good chance of being able to take them out immediately. There we go. Get rid of you because you're heading down to us. We don't want Billy Bob to be hit here. Billy Bob has ended up being the star of quite a few of the games. Him and Daphne Jr. Level 5! We're not doing too badly at all here. This of course means that it's going to get even harder. And the enemies are going to get even faster. That could very well happen. Take care of you and you. Nobody is spared. Billy Bob is here to defend everyone. He's gone from being somebody that just shot people with bottles that were trying to shoot him to being the hero of the planet. That's quite a step up, Billy Bob. Whoa, you're extremely fast. You are very quick, and I don't want every single thing that we're going to have to shoot to be as fast as you. Let's see about dealing with... Okay, that's not that fast. That one, however, is really quick. One shot will take them out, but they are quite difficult to hit sometimes. Also, I'm noticing that all of the flashing bulbs up there are only green, red, and white. There are no different colour bulbs. That's all they had. Anyone else? There's you. And you. I don't mind them being really slow. If you can continue to be really slow, unlike that bunny rabbit there that wasn't slow at all, that would be great. Level 5 is gone. Level 6 is upon us now. Now let's see, okay, they are starting to be, more often than not, really fast. We need to make sure we deal with the really fast ones right away, because they can close the distance between the top of the screen and the bottom like that extremely quickly. If you'd like to go back up, that would be good. There we go. You went back up. I think that was a lucky escape. The bunny rabbit was looking for us, but Billy Bob played it cool and stayed far away. There you go. You've been taken care of. I still don't like those pink things with teeth. They are the horrifying thing here, the thing that really doesn't belong compared to everything else. Could they have picked, say, a bear or a squirrel? Not a giant eldritch abomination? To be fair, Mrs. Action 52, it does make sense that they'd slot in at least one eldritch abomination per game. Level 7. They're going to be even faster now, aren't they? No, we are still seeing... Okay, hello! You are extremely fast! I think you might be the fastest we've seen any of them move. If we find ones like that, we're going to have to take them out instantly. That said, the one that we did encounter that moved that fast just went straight down to our level and tried to kill us. And you've gone down to our level, but fortunately you went back up. And I don't know if we were just a tiny fraction of a second away from dying there when that one got right next to us. Perhaps it's impossible to die. I doubt that. If the game's given us lives, I doubt it. Can you leave? We can die! That's what happens when we get into contact with one of the foes. We just crumble over and die. Contact with these otherworldly beings is fatal. But we are quite far into the game. I believe we should be able to complete this one. Billy Bob will be able to persevere, provided we can get rid of the really, really quick ones. We have only a few more levels to go. Can Billy Bob be victorious once again? Billy Bob was nearly victorious the second time we saw him. We need to get rid of all of these. I don't know how many more we have to take out before we get to the next level, but there we go. I was about to say if we could get there soon, that would be great. We have 3 lives to get through 2 levels, and the first foe is a really, really slow one. And then there was you that just decided, nope, we don't want you to have that life, and then we perished. And then there's you. Can you move up? You moved up. Brilliant. They're really starting to be tricky. Look at all of these foes here being super, super fast. Now, if you could just head up instead of right, that would be wonderful, but there we go. I was about to say you didn't want to, and then you did. If we can just ignore that foe over there, nope, no we can't. That foe just went, ha-ha, and strafed right into us. We have 1 more life, and 2 more levels to go through. I get the feeling Billy Bob might not be victorious. Then again, we could be really lucky, and loads of really slow foes could generate. As the generation of foes is entirely random, please go up instead of left. There we go, you went up instead of left. That's marvellous. And then the Bunny of Doom appeared. Are you just going to go left? Please don't just go left. You went left instead. It's only fitting that we got killed by the one with the horrifying expression and teeth, isn't it? We'll move on from that game, and we'll play a different one. Time to play Meteor.
Level 1.
Oh, I think I know this game. This is the first game where we can fire really quickly by just holding down the fire button. We're meant to protect this city from all of these meteors that are falling from the sky. Or not, because we can let them go past without any difficulty or problem. All we really have to do is shoot the ones that we can, and not get in contact with them, because getting in contact with them costs us a life. I think we just need to take out so many of them, and then we'll be victorious. Like so! Level 1 is done.
Level 2.
Time for level 2. We've heard this music before. I don't think this music is entirely appropriate for protecting this futuristic city against a shower of meteors. The ship is really powerful. Maybe this is Daphne defending against the generic army's meteor onslaught. Ooh, some of them are starting to come from diagonals now, providing an extra layer of threat. I imagine they're going to start moving faster as well as the levels go on. And while we're firing quickly, that level complete sound was really slow. Yep, they're moving faster, but that's okay. As long as we stay down at the bottom of the screen, we should be alright, because as we all know, meteors don't fly from the bottom of the screen up. And this is when the game throws a curveball by having exactly that happen. This is one of the first games where we've been able to fire this quickly, and all I'm doing is holding down the button to fire. And I wonder what that dish there on the right is trying to send out. Mayday! Mayday! We're under attack by a never-ending swarm of meteors! Curiously, Daphne is helping us! You wouldn't think that she would, being the cosmic villain that she is. But she is. We don't dare ask why. We can let as many of them as we like go past, and it doesn't matter. We'll still complete the level when we destroy enough of them.
Level 4.
Let's deal with these ones, and the ones that are going at diagonals. Hopefully the ones going at diagonals won't start moving really quickly. I imagine by the time we get to level 9, they're all going to be moving very quickly. Also, if you fire fast enough, the sound effect for destroying the meteors doesn't play, because there are too many sound effects playing. Sometimes it does, but most of the time it doesn't. Some of those stars are twinkling. Are they exploding? Is this where all these meteors are coming from, as planets are shattered and the fragments of them fly towards this populated area? Who can say? All I can say is that I've noticed that there are a couple more of those dishes here. Are we actually moving? We are! We're actually changing subtly where we are from level to level. Because last time there were 2 dishes. This time there's only 1. Subtle changes. I like the fact that they did pay attention to that. What they should have paid attention to is the difficulty of this game, because this game isn't very difficult. Now watch, after I've said that, as I somehow find a way to lose. It could very well happen. I doubt it though. One thing to note is that the meteors that are being destroyed do block your line of fire, much like in many other games. Keep that in mind, as they won't protect you. They won't stop other meteors from hitting you.
Complete.
So make sure you move, if you have to.
Level
We're on level 6. And they are starting to fall faster, though not especially fast. More and more of them are flying at a diagonal and thus avoiding us. It's actually fitting that this tune is playing while that happens, because it's reminding me of Man-at-Arms. And that made that game a lot easier. A lot easier. Let's see about getting rid of more of these meteors. They're not the most challenging of threats. Considering what they are, you'd think they'd be far more dangerous. You'd think that they'd explode into even more shards, and then you'd have to avoid them. But no! We have these awesome lasers that can instantly vaporize meteors.
Level complete.
And now we're on level 7.
Level 7.
Let's go! The music is ominous. The level is riddled with meteors. But unlike Appleseed, we just have to avoid all of them. We don't need to pick any of these up. Imagine if part of this game was, hey, if you see a green meteor, make sure you pick it up, because that's full of quantonium energy, and you need quantonium energy to power your quantonium cannons. But no, no quantonium here. There's just Daphne doing battle with all of these meteors. And I say all of them, I actually mean some of them, because most of them just fly past. Will this be the first game where I don't die at all and complete the game with the maximum score?
Level complete.
I don't know what the maximum score of this game actually is,
Level
but we're on level 8 now. And we have 6,000, or we had 6,605. There are lots of meteors now, but I think Daphne can handle this. I really think that she can. At least I hope she can. It is getting a little bit tricky to dodge the ones that come from the left and right, but as long as we stay observant and keep moving, we should be alright. Keyword should be here. There we go, a few more have been taken care of. Some of them have been taken care of before they can get anywhere on the screen. I just shoot them immediately. And that's good for me. Kill all of you, and you. Stay over here, avoid all of them. time to go, I think, soon enough, to the final level. We just need to take care of enough, there we go, of the meteors. The final challenge. 8,250 points. Can I do this without losing a single life? I don't remember if I did the first time round, but I'm going to try my best. I'm going to be very careful because now they're actually piling on the challenge. Now there are loads of meteors, and they're coming from everywhere. That said, challenge is relative because we still can fire at a ridiculous rate. And one shot is enough to take out any meteor. Will Daphne be victorious for the first time ever? Possibly, but it won't be victory against the generic army directly. It's still a victory though. That was a very quick ditty there, but we're victorious! Ha-ha! 10,200 points. And when we come back, folks, we'll move on from that game and play Black Hole. There aren't many more things to look at. Black Hole, the boss, first game, the music demo, the randomizer, and then the challenge. Can we complete the challenge and be the Action 52 Game Master? No, we can't is the answer, because I know what that challenge is, and it is a tricky one indeed. But we'll find that out soon enough. And I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.